Alrighty, we got one more topic to do, and then we are done. So the last topic is we're going to be looking at volume and surface area. So these are very similar to area and perimeter, except these are used for 3D shapes. So for a cube, a rectangular prism, a triangular prism, right? These are used for 3D shapes. So what do these words mean? My thing keeps focused. All right. Surface area basically means the area of all of the different sides added together. So this is a cube, right? So there's a front, there's a back, there's a top, there's a bottom, there's a side, and there's another side. So surface area, you find the area of all of those sides, and then you add them together. All right? Volume is kind of like a 3D area. Basically, you want to figure out, you see these little cubes? This is like one cube. There's another here. There's another here. You want to figure out how many little cubes are in here. Okay? So let's start with surface area. Now look at this cube. All right, let's take a look at it. It is let's pick a unit. Let's say it is meters again. It's 3 meters long, 3 meters wide, and 3 meters tall. Okay? Well, this side is going to be 3 by 3. This side is going to be 3 by 3. This side is going to be 3 by 3. Basically, for a cube, all of the sides are going to be the exact same. They're all going to be 3 by 3 squares, right? This is a square, this is a square, this is a square. So they're all the same. So if we want to find the surface area, we basically just have to find the area of one of the sides and then multiply that by however many sides there are. How many sides are there in a cube? There's a front and a back, there's a top and a bottom, and there's a side and a side. So there's 6, right? So if we find the area of this, let's just pick the front. We find the area of that, and then we times it by 6 because there's 6 sides. That'll give us the surface area, okay? So what's the area of this front square here? It's a square. It's 3 long. It's 3 high. How do we find the area of a square? Do you remember? It's going to be the area of a square is length times width, right? Okay. So the length is 3. The height is 3. So the area will be 3 times 3. Well, what's 3 times 3? That gives us 9. Okay. Now again, remember your units for area would be 9 meters squared. So we know that the area of this right here is 9 meters squared. But we want to find the surface area, right? Remember, how many sides are there in this cube? There's 6 sides. Well, we found the area of one side, which was 9, and then we want to multiply that by however many sides there are. Well, there's 6 sides. So we take the 9 meters squared, that's the area of the front. We times it by the 6 sides that there are. What's 9 times 6? That's going to give us 54. What do you think our units are going to be? For surface area, they are going to be the same thing as the units for area. It's just going to be meters squared. So the surface area of this cube is 54 meters squared. All right? Now let's look at volume. What is volume? Remember, we want to figure out basically, for area, you were finding out how many little squares there were in a shape. For surface, or for volume, you want to figure out how many little cubes there are. Now, volume in this case, a lot easier than surface area. Volume is your friend, okay? To figure out how many cubes there are in this big cube, basically, all you do is you take the length, you multiply that by the width, and then you multiply that by the height. And it makes sense because if it's 3 squares long, 3 squares wide, and 3 squares high, if you multiply 3 by 3 by 3, that'll tell you how many cubes there are in total, right? Okay, so the volume for this cube is going to be the length times the width times the height. Well, what's the length? It's 3. What's the width? Also 3. What's the height? Also 3. Whoops. That's a weird looking 3, but that is a 3. Okay, now we just multiply. What's 3 times 3? That's 9. Then we times it by 3 again. What's 9 times 3? 27. 27 what? What do you think? What's our units? Is it meters? Is it meters squared? No, to both of those. Neither are correct. For volume, the units is going to be cubed, right? Because you're finding out how many cubes there are. So the volume of this is 27 meters cubed. All right? Surface area, you find the area of one side, multiply it by how many sides there are. Volume, you do length times width times height. All right? Surface area is meters squared. Volume is meters cubed. Okay, let's do another example.